Game Night Studios here with another How to Paint Minis tutorial. Today I will be showing you how to paint worn leather. This is one of the first tricks I ever learned, so I hope to pass it on to you guys. One of the things I'm trying to work on, constantly improve my videos, I'm trying to make them a little bit shorter. Back to it, we are painting a leather coat here at Game Night Studios. This is going to be a worn leather coat. This isn't going to be some fancy new thing he just bought. This is going to be worn, it's going to be old, it's going to be battle tested, it's going to look shaded and textured. We got some mahogany brown from Reaper MSP paints, Master Series paints. I believe that's what that stands for. Coat the coat with a good coat of this mahogany brown. It might take 2 coats to get the coat just how you want it, but do the coats. Get it layer or get it on there, get it how it needs to be. I'm not going to waste your time showing you how to paint a solid color. You know how to do that. Grab some light brown. I have a sample I got from Reaper. They just sent me that. This is what the paint kind of looks like. Mississippi Mud by Americana is also pretty much the same color. Any kind of really light brown is what we're going to be using to put on the first layer of shading on this coat. We're going to use a dry brush technique. That means we take a larger brush, we wipe almost all the paint off the brush so the brush is dry but it still has a little bit of that paint, and then using some really light brush pressure we hit the entire mini with this, or the entire coat I should say. We hit everything with this first layer. We're going to hit the armpits, we're going to hit the top, we're going to hit the little folds at the bottom. We hit everything with this initial color. That's going to give it that base texture, that base initial highlight. And we're going to add some weathered wood from Secret Weapon Miniature. This is kind of a off-white, it's almost a super light gray, and we mix that into the brown. And this is going to be our first highlight, blending these colors together and give it that nice shading, that nice gradient to that lighter coat. This we're not going to hit the entire mini with. We're just going to hit the areas where the light would naturally be focused. The area at the bottom of the coat where it's kind of flared out from the weather or the wind, whatever I mean. And then the tops of the shoulders, the backs of the elbows, anywhere light would hit. We're not going to hit the armpits, we're not going to hit the under part of the coat by his legs, just where light would hit. And then we're going to add the contrast. All from Army Painter, I love their washes. We got some strong tone, some dark tone, and some quick shade mixing medium. We're going to mix all these together, which is going to give us a very dynamic wash. The dark tone and the strong tone, we're going to put 2 drops of each and then 4 drops of the mixing medium. What the mixing medium is going to do is kind of water these paints down. What is special about mixing medium as opposed to just mixing it with water is it actually keeps the wash a little bit thick. So it sticks where you want it. It'll naturally go into those cracks and recesses and folds of the coat, and it's just going to stay there. If you mix this with just 4 drops of water, it'll kind of go wherever it wants to go, and it won't collect where it needs to collect. So that's why I use mixing medium. You could probably pull off the same effect with water. It's just a little bit easier and a little bit nicer and crisper with the mixing medium. So you get that all over the mini. And now we go into the sort of the trick of the trade. This takes a little bit of practice to get down. What you do is you grab an actual brush that is dry and suck out some of the pools in the coat. Now, like I said, this takes a little bit of practice to figure out how much pooling is too much pooling. If you pull off too much, it's going to look like you didn't shade it at all. And if you don't pull off enough, it's going to add a really dirty look to wherever it pulled too much. So pay close attention to that, do some trial and error, figure out exactly how you want it and where you want it to go. Naturally pooled in the armpits or a little bit in the deep folds near the bottom. We sucked a little bit of that out, but we left it there. We left enough of it there to where it's still going to shade those areas more. So this is what it looks like when it dries. We have that nice texture. We got that nice gradient going from that original mahogany brown faded up to that lighter tone. We are going to add the final highlight here. All right, this is going to be just a real minor edge highlight that we're going to put only on the extreme edges of the coat. So at the bottom where it's flayed out, that's what we're going to add here. This is going to be that same color we did that dry brush highlight with. We're just going to get it on a normal brush, using the side of the brush to get just a very little bit of paint on there. Any crease in the coat that is just ends up being a real sharp edge. That's what we're going to hit with this final edge highlight. We could probably get away without doing this, but it just makes the highlights a bit more extreme and pop more. And that's what's going to make your Mini stand out, is these little touches at the end here. We got the wash, we got the gradient with the dry brush, now we add the edge highlight. It just matches everything together, and just, you see how it looks. It's just a good technique. It's fun, it's easy. Dry brushing is one of the first techniques I ever learned how to do, and I kind of went nuts with it since I didn't know any other techniques. I was using it for everything, skin tones and whatnot, and it's not meant for that. This technique, dry brushing, works really, really well for specific things. It works great for leather, it looks great for rocks, anything where you want that kind of uneven texture highlight on, it works great for. So if you were painting something like a robe, I wouldn't use this technique on. It would end up looking kind of messy. So I'll show you a new technique for robes and stuff later. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, how to paint leather. I hope you learned some tricks. This was, like I said, one of the first things I ever learned, so it was just fun and easy to do. So I figured I'd share it with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I've been trying to make them smaller and to the point, just to cover whatever topic it is I'm trying to cover, as opposed to a half-hour-long video on how to paint a Mini from start to finish. If you guys have a preference, if you like seeing one more than the other, or if there's any tricks you're interested in learning, please comment below, send me a message. I'm always happy to help and make more videos. This is something I enjoy doing. I do have links in the bottom if you're interested in anything there. I have an eBay store where I sell some of the things that I've painted, and I also have products that might help you on your way to becoming a better painter. I also would really appreciate if you guys like, follow, or subscribe to the channel. That does help me out. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Hope you like it. More coming soon. Game Night Studios.